The Witcher 3 is a game that, in my personal opinion, to this very day has not been topped by any other game. In fact, I would say that there are only a handful of games that have even come close to what this game managed to achieve. For example, I'd say a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 managed to do a pretty good job of balancing gameplay and character while still maintaining an interesting plot, but for me personally, it's still some way off managing what The Witcher 3 managed to do. And I know a lot of people hate comparing things, like say how I've compared Red Dead Redemption 2 to The Witcher 3, and say they're completely different games, completely different everything, but for me personally, both games are about a main character that you have to play as, you have to make decisions as that character, and you have to try and be in the world of that game, so they're quite similar in some respects. And I feel like comparing things is one of the best ways to work out what you personally prefer and what you want to see in future games. To begin with, unlike most AAA games, the characters and core world in which this game takes place was not born from somebody trying to design a game. For example, a game that I loved when I was a bit younger was a game known as Prince of Persia, and one of the key aspects of this game's story was based around something known as the Sands of Time. These sands allowed the main character to reverse time, say if he missed a jump or was close to death. Now, this key story element actually rose from one of the game's devs wanting this mechanic to reverse time to be in the game. Therefore, due to a game mechanic, a key part of this game's world was developed. Now, I love Prince of Persia, and I thought it was a great game, but at the end of the day, a key aspect of its story was devised because of how somebody wanted the game to play, not necessarily because of a plot reason. Whereas the Witcher games have their story and origin in an already established, rich and developed world. Because, as I'm sure most of you already know, these games are based on books. So, because the parameters of this world have already been set, the game devs are not really able to make massive changes to the way in which the world works, and therefore they can't really change game mechanics massively in a way that will actually affect the plot, as that would affect the entire world around them. Like in the above example of the Sands of Time dictating large parts of the story. This means that The Witcher, as a game, is not really just a game, meaning that when you play this game, you are experiencing an established and developed world that has been around for a long time, and can't really be massively changed by stuff that people might just want in the game. So you're not really experiencing something that was designed purely by game devs. All of the key characters in this world have their roots in the books. There are of course a few original characters who are still amazing and interesting, but these characters are able to feed off the rich and established world and the characters around them. So, to summarize that point, one of the reasons I believe The Witcher 3 is so incredible is because it's not really just a game. It's a game that was born from a complex and amazing series of books, and the great aspects of these books have been presented to us through this game's characters and world. It's similar to why I believe The Lord of the Rings as a film series is so good. Of course, the films are very well shot, and the actors are all great, but without that solid base of an author trying to tell their story, it wouldn't be nearly as impactful and incredible as it is. For my next reason, of course, I have to discuss the amazing people at CD Projekt Red. Now, keeping in line with my other point, obviously they had a very good base to start their game from, but personally, I don't think this takes away from them in any way the incredible job they did developing this game. The Witcher 3 features not only an incredible original story, but also original characters that fit perfectly into the world. I mean, to name two off the top of my head, there are Eredin's two Wild Hunt generals, Imlerith and Coranthia. And as another key original character, there is of course Gaunter O'Dim. I know Gaunter was inspired by various other sources, but he's still an original character that's been introduced into the Witcher universe, and definitely fits in the already established world. Even the established characters, like Geralt and Ciri, have all these incredible human lines. When I play The Witcher 3 and see these characters interact with one another, I feel as if they are having actual conversations. In some games, it feels incredibly scripted. I don't want to name and shame any, but I'm sure you guys will know what sort of games I mean. But in The Witcher 3, I really believe that Geralt wants to find Ciri. I really believe that Triss is in love with Geralt, despite her friend Yennefer also clearly loving him. I mean, the fact that a video game is able to show us these complex human emotions and relationships, like say the different forms of love shown with Geralt and Triss and Geralt and Yennefer, and of course completely different kinds of love, such as the love between Geralt and Ciri, is just incredible. The story as a whole whole is also crafted incredibly well, and honestly could warrant an entire video in itself. For a very basic point about it though, just consider the sheer amount of diversity it exhibits. For example, you can go from being a witcher, going through a contract to slay a monster, to simply searching for an old lady's frying pan. Then you can battle with elves from another world, and then find hidden journals accounting other witchers' adventures in the world. These diverse quests just help to make the world feel alive. When I load into The Witcher and go somewhere like Novigrad, I could picture it actually existing. The city feels alive, the merchants feel alive, you can even sit down and play Gwent with them. That actually leads into another point I wanted to mention. The voice acting of every character in this game is just so believable. I mean, the sound in general is amazing. When walking through a place like Novigrad, you can hear the priests preaching about the eternal fire, witch hunters discussing their killings, and just general merchants talking to their customers. I could honestly go on for hours listing every small detail I can about these games, but I think that you would almost likely lose interest in the video at that point. So, to summarize, the fact that every aspect of this world is filled to the brim with detail is one of the reasons I believe The Witcher 3 is so incredible. CD Projekt Red also did a very good job of allowing us to feel as if, when we played The Witcher 3, we had truly been on not just an adventure, but a journey. Obviously, the characters, the quests, and the small details all contribute to this in a more subtle way, but the main reason I say that this game is truly a journey is because of the large amounts of locations we get to explore. For example, we get to go to the war-torn area of Velen and see the full effects of the war all around us, and monsters prowl the battlefields, but then we get to go to Novigrad, a large city filled with crime, religion, and intrigue. We also then get to go to Skellige and see amazing landscapes, and the entire area has completely different beliefs, architecture, and people to the other areas. And finally, we get to go to the Valley of Kaer Morhen, located deep in the Blue Mountains, where we see the large hidden keep of the School of the Wolf. I mean, this is in one game, guys, and I haven't even brought up the mission where we briefly get to travel through various worlds with Avallac'h, or the fact that in The Witcher 3's 2 DLCs, we get to experience whole new environments. For example, Iris's Painted World, Gaunter's World, or of course Toussaint. I mean, thinking about it, we even get to go to the Isle of Mists, which is a completely different area as well. And I'm sure I've missed countless other areas you just get to go to only once in the games. And each of these areas is just filled with stuff. Be that cities, towns, abandoned buildings, quests, or just some guy sat around playing a flute, or kids running in the street. And also, of course, all the characters in these areas. That can be innkeepers, characters, people you do contracts for. It's just so expansive. I could honestly go on forever discussing these environments, as that's just how expansive and incredible this game is. But to summarize this point, all these environments and the detail within really makes us feel as if we've been on a journey. The final point I want to make for today's video is the fact that, unlike in most video games, your decisions in The Witcher 3 really matter. And I mean really matter. You can get entire different endings depending on what you do in this game. Key characters can die that would have otherwise lived, and entire kingdoms can end up under the control of different rulers. You never know whether a decision you make is going to influence the world around you in a good or bad way, even for the most minor of quests. For example, there is a quest that I actually did recently on my Witcher 3 playthrough to do with a Sylvan using people as a way to fatten itself up. When I found out that it was doing this, I was able to either let it live or kill it, and on top of that, after deciding, I was able to talk to the peasants and tell them to check the location where the Sylvan was hiding. Because I just happened to choose both of these decisions, it ended up that these peasants were killed, and this is just a minor quest. For the actual story of this game, your decision's impact is massive. Also, the decisions from previous Witcher games can influence key states within The Witcher 3. For example, at the end of The Witcher 2, or let the School of the Viper Witcher Letho of Gullet live. If you let him live and carry your save to The Witcher 3, he can actually appear, and you can not only have a full quest with him, but also have interactions with him later at Kaer Morhen. However, if he is killed in the previous game, none of this happens. There are also a lot of other decisions carried over, but that's definitely the main one. All in all, the fact that you as the player seemingly have so much influence in the world as a whole really just enhances how incredible this game is. To end today's video, I just want to say that I have left out some other points that honestly contribute to how incredible this game is. For example, the crafting system, the combat system, all these other things, but I would like to avoid making this video too long. If you guys like today's video though, I will definitely consider making another video like this in the future, or perhaps a series of videos discussing the individual points that make this game so amazing, as honestly, I just made today's video to try out something new and have a bit of fun. That's the end of today's video though, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed. Be sure to like it if you enjoyed it. I always appreciate that. Be sure to subscribe and all the rest. I know I do videos every week. It could be a Witcher lore video next week. Most likely it will be. I do Witcher parts and all that sort of stuff. So thank you to everyone that likes and subscribes. It's always awesome. Also, one thing I wanted to mention is that recently I've been live streaming a lot on something known as DLive. It's this live streaming platform. It's kind of like Twitch. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. It's nothing like that. I just gave it a go and it was actually pretty fun. So I'll play a clip for you guys from one of my streams now. No, I'm kidding. It's, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to decide to play there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if you want to go and see moments like that, be sure to go and watch my streams. I don't know, just go and follow me on there, make an account or something. I think PewDiePie is doing something on there soon, so I'll make an account for that anyway, I guess. That'd be pretty cool. And also, yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter, Twitch if I ever get streaming on there again, and also join the Reddit and Discord and all that sort of stuff. It's all in the description. You guys have a look. And also, as always, a big thank you to the Patreon pledges. You guys help me out with these videos so much, and you're all so amazing. I want to say thank you all so much. And yeah, I'm just going to end today's video there. I've had such a cool time. I love making videos like this, honestly. I love talking about The Witcher and just being able to say how I feel about it, to be honest. It's been really fun, so I hope you've all enjoyed. But anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. Have an awesome rest of the week.